The first question is, what's the name of the town you were born in?
Hotin.
Khotin?
Yeah.
What country is it?
It's Bessarabia.
Bas.
Bessarabia.
Is that part of the?
It was Russian and it was changing, so they call it Bessarabia. It's not Ukraine.
Uh-huh.
It's Bessarabia.
Where is it? Where is it now?
It's still there.
Is it?
I don't know when they call it Hotin, but that's what you asked me where I was born. That's what I was born.
But what country is it in now? Is it in Romania or is it in?
I think it's Russia.
It's Russia.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you spoke Russian and Yiddish, or?
No, I didn't speak at all.
Uh-huh.
I was just born. And you asked me a question. I was just born, and my parents left their place and went to Chernovitz.
Mm-hmm.
And there I was raised. I remember maybe I was 9 years. They had a wedding there for my mother's sister, and I was there. But this is, in my mind, I remember exactly what I saw when we were staying in my grandparents' house. My grandparents from my father's side. Then my mother's side died. Her mother died when she was getting married before, and her father died later, and I didn't know it.
What were your parents? What were their names?
My Abraham and Jenny. They called her Shendel.
And what was their last name?
Shendy.
What was your last name?
Siegel.
Siegel.
Yeah. Sigal. That's not,
okay.
in Europe, is a I, is a E.
Yeah.
So we Siegel.
And what was your father's job?
A tailor.
He was a tailor.
Yes.
He had a store, or?
No, he worked home with 6-7 people.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And was when you went to Chernovitz, was there a big Jewish community there?
Oh yeah, very, very big. We had the most beautiful temple, but I think in all over, wherever matter of fact, Dad find out and made a copy, and I have it home. I didn't think I have to bring it, but it's very interesting for you. And it was the most beautiful temple. It went just like this in a corner. Here was a street and here was a street. And this was the temple, but the most gorgeous, gorgeous temple. I can't even tell you. I was married there in the temple. So very, very nice. With balcony, with plush, like you see the Queen of England, when she sits there, it always reminds me there. Yeah, so elegant, very, very red plush, very beautiful.
So Jews had a good
life.
life.
Beside that, synagogues, beside this was the most, the temple, And the synagogues was different, and all over a big Jewish population. Big Jewish population.
So Jews had a pretty good life.
We had a wonderful life. We never knew from Jewish and Christian. We was friends, we went to school, till the day it turned it over, there's the German came in, and then the Russian took it over. Until then, it was wonderful. In 1938, when I got married, it was end of December, already 25th of December. So in the next 39 and 40, it started already bickering. And the hooligans, you know what hooligans is?
Yeah, the teenage young punks.
They ran around with sticks, and before the students went be Jewish, and they was the best friend. They came up to my house with my brother all the time, and all of a sudden, girl, oh Jew, and it was terrible. You was afraid to go out of the street. Just overnight, they changed it. They had this flag, the German flag, then the Russian came in, they had the red flag. They changed from day to day, but it got completely to return. We had everything what you can imagine in Chernovitz, like America. We never were short on food or something. the best whatever you can. I don't even think that here I have the same fruit and the same thing what we had in Chernovitz.
What was the language in Chernovitz?
We spoke Romanish.
Romanish?
Yeah, then the Romanian was there. You know, after First World War, they took it over, and Romania took it over from Austria.
From Austria?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Austria before. So the people from Chernovitz spoke German. And we was raised German, but the thing is that we have to speak Romanish.
Okay.
In the school, when I started first grade, of course, everything what I learned was in Romanish.
But you spoke German at home?
My mother didn't speak German, my father didn't speak German. I don't know when I don't know, or they didn't want to, or they didn't put their mind to it, not German and not Romanish. Yiddish.
Yiddish.
The house was Yiddish. We spoke Yiddish in the house.
Was there a Yiddish theater?
Yes.
Did you like
Two
it?
Yiddish theaters, yeah. Very beautiful. I remember with Molly Pickham, my mother told us, but later on I saw it in New York, the reduction from this.
What would you like to do for fun when you were a girl, like a
Back
teenager?
then I was very young, boys and girls. We didn't have a television, we didn't watch, we read a lot. We read a lot in good books.
What was your favorite writer?
Well, I read Tolstoy, Karenina, and a lot of them I can't remember. I like this
Russian
kind
man.
of. This was very interesting, and it was helping for schools. This was everything in German and in Romanian, so it was me helping like with history. Then in Israel and Chernovitz and in Romania, we'll have to learn. We have to learn history, and we have to know in your geography and everything. It was a must. It's not just like here you have 2 hours between and going up, going down. We were sitting in one class. The French teacher come to us, the German teacher comes to us, the mathematics, and we have to learn. We have to do everything. We had to learn how to sew, how to repair socks, and this wasn't the time from today. What you throw away a pair of socks when you have a hole. You had to repair it. And there's special stitches, but you have to learn. And this everything we was learning in school.
And did you get a job after you went to school, or did you go to college?
First I teach children. I teach a lot of children. Sometimes mathematics, sometimes history, sometimes just to read. Then I finished high school, and I went to college. I just went to college for business college. I had typewriting and stenography. So that's what you say, stenography.
Yeah.
Stenography, and of course the rest, the history with all this, that's what has to come with it. But I was very good in stenography and this. After I finished school in college, I went to a lawyer, and I worked by a lawyer there for a year.
Was that common for young women in Chernovitz to go to college, or was it?
No.
No.
No, my father expected me to be a doctor. 100%, but I was a very, very good student. I learned very fast, and I was very conscious of my studies.
So you were one of the most intelligent.
Most, I mean, I was a good student, and I learned fast, and the people what surrounded me, all the people, and my brother special, was very protective of me. I was the youngest one. So he was with 9, 10 years older from me. He was very protective of me. What with whom I go, with whom I speak, with how I dress. When he says something is not nice on you, I wouldn't wear it when you give me $1 million. Then that was my brother. He says, no, it's no.
How many brothers and sisters?
Just one brother and one sister.
What were their names?
Sigmund and Miriam.
That's who I was named after, Sigmund?
Yes.
And so how old were you when you met Abba?
I was 22. Yeah.
So you were just out of college?
No, I was working already, and I knew already sewing also. Then when I worked a year in the lawyer, I was too beautiful for my mother. I should stay with the lawyer. Why? But he had a a horse with a carriage, this time, and he brought me home a other time. And the neighbor starts, yeah, she's a she maid, she's a nice, beautiful girl, and he looks something from her to have it. So my mother listened to Bapkis, and now she says, you don't go anymore to work, you go to learn a dressmaker. I want you to have a profession. And when my mother says something, there is no lane. Mama says something, his mama says something.
So
She didn't talk to me 8 days.
people suspected you were having an affair with the lawyer?
No, they didn't expect it. They just thinking about it, They didn't expect it. They know me, they know the family, But that's what people is talking,
Yeah. Was he married?
I don't remember. We didn't look in this history. We worked for the guy. I worked there with all the lawyers, It didn't interest me. When he gave me a right, I was happy to go in a cab. But this didn't cross my mind even.
But he never tried to kiss you or
Oh
anything like that?
no, this wasn't that today's time.
Yeah.
Not even my boyfriend tried to kiss me after a year. No.
So how did you meet Abba?
Abba, I meet on the street. I supposed to go with my brother on excursion. My brother was a very big excursion. And I went on a lot of excursion with my brother. With boys, with men, with this. Just not my boyfriend. My brother didn't believe in him, he didn't like him.
Who was your boyfriend?
Well, a guy in Czernowitz.
What was his name?
What's the difference?
I was just curious.
Wagner.
Wagner?
Yeah.
Wagner, like the
Yeah.
composer?
Yes.
Was he Jewish?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding? Who goes in Czernowitz not met a Jewish guy? Who was?
But
Once
Wagner
in a
is...
million year. This didn't exist. And I wouldn't even dare. I have schoolgirls, they come into my house and we studied together, a lot of Christian, but not for him and not for me, came in the mind. He knew that he has to marry a Christian girl, a Catholic, or I knew that, and I was too young to think about it. I was too young. No.
Okay. So how did you meet Abba?
Well, I supposed to go on an excursion with my brother and all the people. And I was supposed to be there. And the last minute he called it off, he had a job to do. And my Abba made also, Venetian blinds beside the luggage. And he had a special job to do. So he called it off and sent Paul, his brother. So I met Paul then. Ella met my brother was friends already for a long time. And he made a lot of pictures for them. They always went on excursion. Ella met him and he made the pictures like, but development. And I saw the pictures. This is Ella, this is this. And I knew Abba also from the pictures. And my Sigmund tells me, this is the guy, this is the brother from Ella, and he will come to our excursion. I say, fine. But he didn't show up, Paul showed up. But we had a wonderful time, and with Paul, and wonderful time.
Where did you go for your excursion?
On mountains.
Mountains.
Where is a big mountain, and my brother was there. He has to be... He got a golden book from Hitler.
He got what?
The golden book from Hitler, gold medal.
Oh, really?
Yes, when Hitler sent pictures to him from all over the world, nature, and he sent it in. We didn't know that he will end out a terrorist, and so he sent him a medal and paid for it.
Wow.
Yeah, but he was tremendous. He was unbelievable. The painting, you can't believe it. So anyway, and I knew Abba from the pictures. And I went to work one day. It was the May the 1st, and nobody worked in Czech.
It's a holiday.
He had to work, and I had to work. But I don't know. I came from this direction, he came from the other, I don't know. And we stopped by the movie, and all these pictures was, and this time was the pictures from the movies. And I stopped by the movies, and I turn around, I see And I looked at him. Why I looked maybe more. Then I was remembered. I said, oh, this is Grossman. This is Ella's brother. And he looked at me, and I started leaving, went to work, and he went after me. Where I was working, the lady was very young person. She had just the first child, a young person. And we could talk to her, all the girls what we worked there. And I say, somebody, I knew who it is. I say, it's coming after me. And I want to, and we was on the third floor. I looked down, she comes with me, we look down from the window. Sure enough, he's up and down in the host, hoping that they come down. So this was it. And in the evening, he was there. In this way, I knew him.
He waited all day?
He waited a day. No, he went to work. Mm-hmm. And every day we meet somehow. But no, this is not the time that you, a boy or a girl, I know, I see you, we can talk, can we go out, you know. You have to wait till you get introduced. Mm-hmm. You're not introduced, you can talk to her.
Oh, wow.
It was nice. Mm-hmm. Sadly, believe me, I'm still alive and I still see the life here. I get adjusted to it, but it was nice there. Respect was very important. A girl doesn't touch you, a man doesn't touch you. He doesn't talk about breast or talk about sex, and he respects you. My boyfriend was 28 years older like I was. He never touched me improperly. Oh, never. And I tell you, it's nice. In my opinion, it's maybe not has to wait for a year. I was special. It wasn't everybody. I didn't like to kiss or to, you know, wasn't the time. I didn't like that. But maybe other people, girls kissed earlier and this, of course. But it was a respect. You didn't expect to a boy and a girl go and sleep together, and this would be the biggest Sunday for the 6 years of the family.
How did you and Abba get introduced?
And then I went to a concert, and we were sitting in the balconies, and Abba was sitting downstairs.
Do you remember what the concert was?
And in a beautiful theater, and you know, you look down from who is there, and all of a sudden I saw him, he saw me. My brother knew him from before, my sister. So I said to my sister, I said to my brother, you say, this downstairs here, it's Grossman. This was she supposed to go with me to the excursion. I don't know. I said, yes. He says, yeah, that is Julius. After the concert, he picked up my brother, you know, in conversation, and still I didn't know. I went my way, home with my sister, with my brother, One day I broke up with my boyfriend. The reason, after 2 years, I loved him very much. But I was a very proud girl. Nobody else called me different like the Cheney Army. That's all what we knew. They knew in it. When you want to ask who is which Annie, the Cheney. It's a
What does that mean?
Meet the beautiful.
Ah, Cheney is beautiful. Shane?
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, one day, I broke up with him for a reason, and we went, my brother is the best friend, sister got married, and my sister is invited, they invite me to. No, I'm not going, I don't want to go. I wasn't in the mood, I had no, my brother, I by myself, my brother, Annie, come. What can you lose? I made this myself a beautiful black dress. I remember with roses, red roses. And I was a good looking girl. So, my mama, What can you lose? Go, you have a good time. Matter of fact, his parents, his mother was also by the wedding. It was, Charlie was behind me, was friends, so they went also to school. So I went to the wedding and stayed and come to the wedding and all the boys around me and talking. All of a sudden, my husband, Julius, comes in sport jacket, sport pants, and wants just to say the bride to special good luck. He says to the boys, can you tell me where the bride is with the groom? And I turned around and the boys, and he saw me. He says, never mind, I find her. He went home, changed in an elegant dress, dressed up, and came to the wedding. And this way I met him. And since then he didn't let go.
Mm-hmm.
His father wanted money to this time. When you get married, or you give money, or you give him a house, or who knows what. But he wanted money. After 6 months, we walked all the time, weekends. So he says, I know my father, and a friend of mine told me. He says, oh, you go, I say, you go with Grossman. She says, let me tell you something. A matchmaker was coming to my house and talked to my father, and Judah's father and Grossman's father came together and talked about it, about a shatran. And she says, my father offered, asked him, he says he wants so much money, I don't remember. She told me that. She says, Annie, don't go into it. But when you don't have this money, and she knew that I don't have this. My parents was not rich. He was very rich. He was a furrier.
His family was rich?
No.
Or hers?
They was also good, very rich. Had their own apartment with a maid. This was rich. Mm-hmm. In this situation. So she says, don't even start. So I didn't. She said, don't say nothing. So then we start talking, Julius, and I love you and I want to marry you. And so I say, yes, but your father wants money. And I don't have money. My father doesn't have money. And I don't marry for money. I say, when I want to get married for money, I would be already engaged. Mm-hmm. But that's not the same problem with my boyfriend. I say, I don't have money. And I stopped seeing him after 6 months. By me, it wasn't a big deal, but I wasn't very bad in love with him, but I had somebody else before. So he come every Saturday, and I wasn't home. I wouldn't let him do this. I was by my friends, I was across the street. My mother says, I don't know, he's supposed to come home. She said, he was sitting with my parents. Every Friday, Saturday came. He couldn't find me. Finally, I came home. He says, I don't care what my father says. I said, listen, I don't want to hear from you. I'm not in love with you. Go with your father. Let him sell you for how much he wants. I don't have money. So what is the use we should go? I got used to it. And he was very good looking. And present. Every weekend he sent me the boy from he works in the shop with his father. He was everything. My father-in-law never was in the store. He just came in, look, money, and goodbye. He knows that Julius takes care of me, the patients. He had 8 people working, 10 people.
What kind of store was it?
Luggage.
Luggage, okay.
Yeah. The biggest store in Channel is there, very. And he found flowers and candies, when he came in with a bottle of perfume, but I didn't have this before. Mm-hmm. My boyfriend was very stingy. So
so
he says, I don't care what my father wants and so and so. I say, I don't care either. I'm not in love with you. So you go your way, let me go my way. Don't come, don't pester me every day, every weekend. Then I don't want nothing for you. One day his mother came to make a dress. Then I walked already home. It was an accident my mother had, and I had to stay home and work from home. Then I had to help my mother. She broke her ankle, she broke. A long story. So she came, I didn't know who she is. You know, to this time, there wasn't such a beautiful old ladies like today. You know, there wasn't looking like me or the grandmothers. Other people, what they have grandchildren, you never notice they have grandchildren. She was a short woman, a heavy woman, you know, with gray hair, with hair, you know, old-fashioned up. We don't put makeup up. I didn't put makeup up till I was 21, as I put lipstick for makeup. I never put on makeup. Let's put it this way. So she came and I took a measurement and so. We talk. And then when she says to me, I put on the name, you know, my book. She says, Grossman. I say, oh, I know Grossman, a young man, what I go often in the movies and so. She says, I know, you're Annie. I say, yes. She says, that's what I want. I want to meet you. I want to see you. Then Julius talks so much about you. I want to see. It didn't bother me. It's not like today. Oh, way, my father was. It didn't bother me. I was young. What about worry about it? All the boys was running after me. What? I finished the dress, everything was fine. One day, his father came to my father to make a suit. And my father didn't know either who she is. Take his measurement, talking here and there. So he says, where is your daughter? I say, which daughter? I have two. He says, no, the daughter was not married. So he says, she's in the other room, she's working. He says, can I see her? Can I meet her? Papa called me, Annie, come here, somebody wants to see. I came out, I didn't know. He says, hi, how are you? He says, looked at me and saw me talking. And I went in, I'm sorry, I had work to do. I have two girls working with me. And he said to my father, I'm Julius' father. So what are you waiting for engagement? How long has it to take till you're making an engagement? He says, what are you talking about? He says, the children gone already a year. What are you waiting for? You see, they didn't ask a penny. Julius told them, it won't help you this time. I love her. And she has all the qualities what I like. And I wouldn't, I gave up. So that's what it is story. We went for a year. Then we was engaged, and then a year later we got married.
And what year did you get married?
What?
What year was it when you got married?
In 38.
38.
Yeah. December 25th. I have the wedding ring still.
And where were you married? In the synagogue?
No, in the temple.
The temple.
Yeah.
The beautiful temple.
It was, it was a very short marriage, but it was already Hitler.
Oh, it was?
Yes. It was 38 was already in Germany, but it closed in. It closed in. And my father-in-law says, I don't know why you have to get married. It's the war. You will go away someplace. Maybe they take him to war. But you need to be wedding and be all by tied up. But young people, you know, was 24, 25. So we got married.
And did, at that point, was the government of Romania, what kind of government was it? Was it Nazi or?
No, it was fine.
Was it communist?
No, it was, like today's. No problem. They didn't make communists to that. This was a normal life to live. We didn't have nothing till the German came in. The German came in and all night we was completely locked up. Completely locked up. Nobody went out of this house.
When did the Germans invade?
I think in 39, late in 39, yeah. You know, we had beautiful furniture. My father bought me beautiful furniture, everything with poof puff. And then the problem started. They got in around, and the Christian, even the superintendent from the house, what this time was big doors. I mean, I don't know, maybe you see still in New York, big closed door, and 10 o'clock you close the door. And when you come later, you don't have a key. You have to ring the bell to the super goes and open it, or it's 2 o'clock in the night or the 3 o'clock. You couldn't go in, and they open it, you give him a couple of, some pennies. And then all of a sudden, he was the biggest enemy.
The superintendent?
Yeah, the biggest, all of it. It's the Jewish. It's our fault. It's everything, it's our fault.
What happened when the Germans invaded?
How about the Germans?
Was it tanks or was it just
Not
soldiers?
with tanks, with a lot of soldiers and a lot of cars and a lot of trucks. And
did the people of Romania try to fight the Germans?
No. Nobody tried. They went together. And they went from house to house, took out mostly the younger people, took him to work by the trains, you know, the
Railroads?
all roads, and hard work. Of course, Abba was there. Everything Abba was there. Came out till I see him coming home was 2 o'clock in the night and this. But he came home and took away the store right away. And we was left scared. And then they went from street to street and took out men mostly. And a lot of families, they took him outside the house and shoot him just for no reason whatsoever. Just shoot him, come in, Will these come out. They come out and there was already execution right there for the children, small children, whatever. They didn't care.
Just the Jewish families, or
Just Jewish family. No, just Jewish family. And then they went, and this was a lot, no lot. And then what they collected on the streets, all the men, what they collected, 100, 200, 500, they took it in a special beautiful garden we had, Habsburg Say, and collect them over there. And there was the soldiers, and the Porsche simply shot them out for no reason. 500,000-600,000, how many people it was shot, and without giving a funeral or something, but nobody went out.
Just in the beautiful garden, they collected everybody and
they shoot.
Wow, with machine guns, or was it
machine guns?
And how long did it take for things to get bad? Was it like the Germans arrived and immediately?
The German arrived. There was about not long, about a year. Then the Russian came, but before they left, they killed thousands and thousands of people, just in the front of the house. This is what stays in my mind. I was in my house, by the door, not by my door, by the outside door, you know, the big door, looking out by the little glass. And I saw my boyfriend come from his sister. She lived a block down. And I said, what you doing here? Why are you walking on the street? He said, why you care? I said, of course I care. He says, now you don't love me anymore, what you care? I say, I care. I want you to go home and sit out. So, how much could we talk? You know. He went home. The German was there. Picked up father, him and his brother, and picked up all the rest of us, hundreds and hundreds of people, and took him again to this garden. How do I know? My cousin was living there nearby, and she had a window, and she saw him taken out of the house. And then she told me, honey, they took out and they shot me.
What about your brother or your father?
My brother got married in Hungary, in Budapest. My brother met his wife on also an excursion in Europe. And for a joke, they made a joke, we are engaged. You know, for a joke. She was from Hungary, he was from China. And she started writing to him, and he started writing to her. And often I helped him writing, you know, German letters. And so, and then she says, we are still engaged, don't think you get rid of me. Beautiful, beautiful girl. Also small little girl. So he was so small like you, like fat, you know, thin and tall, very thin and tall. And he eat like a horse, like you know, eat. So she invited him to Budapest. And she says, maybe we get married in Budapest. And he took it for a joke, you know, and my mother too, he told us, you know, we were sitting. And he went to Budapest and never come back. They bought him a store, a photography store. They bought everything for him. But he had also class. He had a lot of class. I can't even tell you. I don't know to whom he classy. He never went like this dressed or so. Always classy and always with very intelligent, high profile people. Mm-hmm. He didn't go lower. He always went higher. And they got engaged there. They loved him. The parents, such a nice guy and so and so. And planned a wedding. And he wrote to us, I don't think I'm coming back. They bought me a store, a photography store, and they wanted me to get married. And I think you will have to come. And this was before I got married. And he wrote to me especially, says, I say, I'm the oldest brother, and you shouldn't get married before me. I say, you know what? You get married before me. I will wait till you get married. But who was thinking that they would get married? He had a girlfriend about 6-7 years, and they didn't get married. But my parents went. I never forgive myself that I didn't go. I was engaged. I don't know why they didn't took me, my parents. My sister went, my mother, my father, and I left home to take care of the house. I never forgive myself for that I didn't see him the last time. And the rest is history. They took him from there, from the concentration camp, when they came in. And thank God they didn't have children. And they took her too. But they first took him, while he was born also 14. And I was the youngest, so I was the last one but I was born there. And he was the oldest, he was the first one, he was born there. So they say he's a communist. And he has probably files hidden, he's a, with document, he's anti-Semite, not anti-Semite, a communist, and who knows what. They say what he is. He was so thin, not what he was undernourished, and I told you here, but that was his style. You never get fat, Seth never gets fat. Scotty, that's what it is. So they took him away, concentration camp. So she wrote us, they took Sigmund away, and she doesn't know how long they will keep him, but he never came back. And then they took all the families there, also Budapest, everybody. Germany occupied, And that's what I say, what a friend told my parents. I didn't talk to this friend. One guy came back and he told my parents that Sigmund was very dainty and they had to walk. And he couldn't walk so long without food. They didn't give me food, they didn't give me water there. And you know, the pictures, you can see the pictures from Holocaust, you will see how they look. And he was sitting down. The soldier took out the gun and shot him on the street and left him there. That's what I know. And I never forget him, and I sleep and I dream about him. Then I loved him, like you can love somebody. Then I made myself a dress and tried it on for my brother. And I came in, so Simon, how you like it? He says, it's not for you, it makes you old. I never put on, it was a brand new, I just made it for me. I never put on this dress. My mother said, oh, you made a new dress, why didn't you put it? I said, Sigmund says he doesn't like it. Sigmund says this company does. I had to go, there was dance houses. In the winter, everybody was invited, and not everybody. Boys came to house, to the parents to invite for the winter. We should go dancing. But when Sigmund didn't give the approval, who these boys are, in what company, I couldn't go. You know, it was everything. And then, when it was an evening for the make a ball, he came on, he was always in the background to watch it. And he came home, he said, and I heard it, and he said to Mom, this is so shame, she's so beautiful. And she danced like a ballerina, and everybody loves her, and everybody wants to dance with her. You know, he was very proud of me. That was it.
And when your parents came back from the wedding in Budapest?
Yeah, they was very excited, but my mother was very depressed. Then she knows that she won't see him. You know, this time is not you travel like this today. You know, you want to see my mom and dad, you take a ticket and you come home for a day. This wasn't this time. You know, it wasn't, we didn't, airplane was, but we went in an airplane. Went to bus and to trains, you know, hours and days till you are and then you never have the time. Then it goes days and days, you leave it one place, days and days to coming back. So no, they never saw him and I never saw him. And then it started to go down and down. The Russian came in, and it was, they didn't kill like this, but it was worse. First they put us in ghettos.
The Russians did?
Yeah.
So the Germans actually didn't take you to a concentration camp?
No, I didn't go to the Russian camp, no.
Not the Germans?
No, not the German. The German first put us in German, and the Russian came in already, but the German made the concentration, the ghetto. You know, from everybody, so...
Oh, the Germans made the ghetto?
Yeah, they started to make the ghetto.
After the Russians came in?
Before.
Uh-huh.
Before they left, they shut everybody out, and then the rest of it had to go in the ghetto. It was, they called it Jiddische Gasse, you know, street, Yiddish. That's this was the Jiddische Gasse. Everybody knew the Jiddische Gasse. It was the shopping center there and so, and they pushed us all to the east. So, and I was like on the road to the ghetto, but not really in ghetto where I lived. So my in-laws had to come to me, stay with me, and I had just also one bedroom and a kitchen and a living room, dining room. This wasn't like today a living room, so you can sleep on the floor. And my sister-in-law, Frida, when you remember, met her daughter, she's born, Carla. They were staying in my house, all of us. And then we had to move further down, so we lost also everything. We all had to go.
And that was, the Germans were in Chernovitz for a year?
About a year.
And during the time
I tell you the truth, I don't remember.
You don't remember exactly, but during the time they were there, they made the ghetto, and they pushed all of the Jews into the ghetto.
Yeah.
And then the Russians came.
The Russians came, took away all the properties, first thing. and they came to me, they know that I'm a dressmaker. They rubbed in, they never saw material so much in a store, and so much food in a store. So everything what they could, if it is. And they in Russia, and I don't know now, they used to stay in line for a pint of oil, or it's, no, you don't know. You have no idea. Constantly, they have to stay for every little bit. They have a piece of little meat, they have to have a card, have to buy. And all of a sudden they came to Chernovitz, and all these stores are loaded with meat, with food, with they didn't even know what a lemon is. In Russia they're making tea with lemon. And my mother is a Russian, so far, and she always, we had in the samovar, you know what the samovar is?
Samovar, yeah, big.
A beautiful, beautiful samovar. Who knows who took it? And she make all this with lemon. And then came the Russian, and so somebody Russian came in, an officer, and she made him a tea, but she know Russian, he drink tea. And she says, you want lemon in the tea? Oh, sure, she spoke to him Russian. Oh, sure, we have that, we have. It grows dozen, it wasn't a lot of things, but we can keep it like today. You buy a cans with food and you keep it in the pantry. Mm-hmm. We didn't have food, cans. We ate, everything is fresh. Everything you go to the market, you pick up and you cook. Mm-hmm. That was it. You had a little bit butter or so. You didn't have frigidaires. You know. It was a very hard time when the Russian was there. Very hard.
And then the Germans came back?
Not really. But then the Russian, it's really the Romanian, not the Russian. The Russian was, the Russian left, It is constantly different, and the Romanian was there. And they started with us to deportation. And they took here, partial here, and also bring us to bring the people in a very big, like a stadium, very big place, and how you can say, and brought them all together in one place. No,
They call them all to
they come the soldiers to pick up from all the houses who they have a list to take it, and took him there, and till they collect everybody and bring it. So that's what it started.
And it was the Romanians, it wasn't Nazis?
Yeah, no, the Nazi wasn't the real. But they start working exactly like what the Nazi told. Mm-hmm. Exactly what the Nazi told. But you see, we didn't go, they didn't took it over to Germany, like Auschwitz or this. They took it in Ukraine to places.
To the Ukraine?
To Ukraine.
So it was actually like the Gulag.
What is the Gulag?
Like Stalinist Russian camp.
Yeah, no, Stalin was with Hitler, whatever. He killed all the Jewish in the Soviet Union like crazy, hundreds of thousands. So in one day, it was start in May, beginning of May, in 1941, he came to my house. I lived like David, like Paul, and Mama lived here and I lived in this house. And my mother heard this, they went in the house with Annika. They went us all, everybody on the front, from there. And everybody was packed before. Everybody knew we have to be packed, otherwise They come and they take it and they give wheelchairs. And we had a backpack, but not the backpack, they call the rucksack,
Mm-hmm.
the big one. And how much you put in it? You can put a pillow in, and you can put a cover in, and you can just matters, another sweater or so. But we all, while we went so much excuses, we had the good shoes, I don't know how they call it here, like if you go as it is skiing, with the big soles, with the good shoes,
Mm-hmm.
and we all had the shoes. So that was the lucky part. Then we had good shoes, people was powerful. They came with sandals, with this, how long this takes it. So they came to us and took us away. We walked past my mother, and I wanted to say, Hagen, this soldier, with the end of the rifle, he gave us such a puff to my mother on the breast that she made, and I couldn't hug her, and I could just cry. I cried, what the hell? And they took us also there. And from there, we went to the concentration camp. We didn't know where they take us. Then they took us like cattle.
And trains?
And by trains, like cattle. And on the apartment was 40, 50 people. We made it in the in this standing. Nobody could sit down.
Mm-hmm.
There was no room. And we didn't know where they take us. So our transport, what they took us, all the way with no water, with not leaving a minute to go out to pee, or to make you're a human. It was terrible.
How long was the trip? Days?
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have I just wonder, we didn't have a time. They took away the watches. That I left with the ring is what Abba was so smart. He took my ring, and we were sitting on these grounds there, all with thousands and thousands of people. And it was on the ground, and they walked around and took away everything, earrings, watches, whatever we had. And Abba said to me, give me your ring. I gave him the ring, and he took his and put it in a lighter, how you call it, not in a lighter, in a match.
A matchbox.
A matchbox. It was we had small map. He put the rings in a matchbox and threw it down on the floor. Also between the rucksack. They came, they took away my watch. These we couldn't hide. My watch, Papa's watch, whatever I had. The beautiful, beautiful bracelet what I received from my father-in-law to 1 year marriage. Beautiful. That's what I have the ring. Otherwise we wouldn't have it. And they took it away. I can't remember how long we was in the train. I do not remember what it was. I know we was just like cattle, and they closed up, no windows. We couldn't see where we go, what is go, until we came to a destination there. And they let us all out, and then we marched to Carriera de Piatra, it was called. Carriera de Piatra was a place where the Russian sent over the criminals. It was, Carriera de Piatra means where all the big stones is Piatra in Romanian. But the criminals had to break the stones, and it was like small barracks, but there was no windows or no doors. But they brought us partially here, partially they took another places. We didn't know. We didn't have idea how many we was there. Nothing. They let us go down and we marched to this place and we sit down on this. Nothing. There was no food, no bread, nothing to buy or whatever. There we was sitting day and night. And when in the night, they let us in the barracks. Every barracks had 40 to 50 people. Depends on, such a room had 30, 40 people. Whatever they like. That, just kettles to be get.
And the people, the guards were Ukrainian or Russian?
There was Romanian.
Romanian, okay.
Yeah. It was Ukrainian also, but mostly Romanian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they took away the old people from all the homes, took away all the children from the homes or orphanages, took away the sick kids, whatever it was, and brought them there. My father-in-law met Ella. We didn't know that. Then we couldn't go to their house to ask what's going on there. But we heard that it was taken to the concentration camp too. The reason was why they took my father-in-law. He had a brother. They should both rest in peace. And he gave on the address from his brother. His brother didn't live with him, but he gave on before that he lives with William Grossman. And they went for him there. But he wasn't there. They took his brother, my father-in-law. And Ella separated another reason. So we knew that they were not camp, but we didn't know. So they took us there, and no pillows, no cold, and just no food. Later on, my other dad says it's a river. It calls the book. I didn't know about it. It's the book. So our dad says it's the river. It was a river, very big. There came the peasants to the border there, with change, like a small little piece of bread. They want a skirt or a blouse, but we didn't care. We gave. That's once we started changing, but we should have a little. When we made a group, Abba's cousin with his wife and two boys, not boys, like 30 something, was with us, was one neighbor for me, what I knew. And we met there, and we, in the room, there always was mostly doctors in the room, so happened, now that's made it. And we stick together, 6 people, we stick together. That's what we was there. How long, I can't even tell you. Months, a year, I don't know. They took us very often in the evening to march to another camp, just for fun. We had to put on everything. We are afraid to lose something. Then you can buy a piece of bread with something. So we took everything, what we could carry, what we had. And we went the whole night. We came on, was already the lights out, on. And we came to a camp where I saw Ella with my father-in-law. My father-in-law saw me. Annika, you will make me something good to eat. But he was used to it. When we got married, he came off every Friday, 11 o'clock, exactly 11 o'clock. He whistled outside, I opened the door, outside door, and he came in. I had every Friday, I knew my father-in-law comes, a cornbread with cheese inside and a coffee. He sat down and had cornbread, and I had to give him a piece for for the grandmother, for my daughter, mother-in-law. This was every Friday. So he was thinking that I made the challes by myself. From my mother I learned that. They asked me today, I don't know. So he was thinking that Ella doesn't give him enough. But what could you do? You didn't have nothing. But he was sick. He an old man. He didn't understand. He wasn't so old. He was over 70. Today is not old. So we rested a couple of hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and we had to go back. What the reason was? Just to keep us busy. Just
Did they make you work hitting rocks or something?
no. But one Romanian officer, Abba was always busy. He helped out. He had something, took with him, a big needle thread, something that wearing like shoes like this. He put it together, and he watched him, and he always stopped and watched him as he does something. Just lucky. And one day we heard all in the morning, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. We should go, everybody should out of the rooms and form a line, double line. We didn't know what. All of a sudden the German came. German came in. They took old first, bring with big trucks, very high trucks, and took all the old people. They should climb up with the rucksack on the back, should climb up to the truck. Who couldn't, they should. Old people. And that was my father-in-law. And can't go up in the truck. So Abba ran and wanted to help him. The officer had a whip. They all had whips. And whipped Abba 3 times. It was unbelievable. Here we stay, nobody could say oi. Nobody. And when you say, oh, but it didn't kill him. You know, he ran back to me, you know, the line. But he was maybe a year that he had blisters. But you didn't have ointments. You didn't have to do nothing. You know, you wear a shirt and you walk and it's perspire and it sticks to your. It's put in lice, such a big lice all over us. You don't wash, you don't comb, and from the offices alone, it's just lice and lice. Unbelievable. So he was standing in line and they took away mostly the older people. I tell you, the older people went for younger people, went in the front. They should take him. Then he knew that they will die instead of a young person. But they took, from my group, they took the 2 boys, the 2 men, my cousin with his wife. And, you know, this officer came up to Abba and said, "With whom are you?" He says, "Just with my wife." He says, "You see here the cabin there below. I want to see in a second there. Run, both of you." We didn't know what's going on. We ran. There was a long day busy. The German go. And we went there, and we went in this house. There was other people hiding there. Hero. That was our luck that we stay alive. The rest, what they took away, went to Auschwitz or whatever. They never came back. Never.
What about your parents? Did you ever see them again?
My parents, I didn't see him till I came back. Adolf he was the engineer in the factory, and that's what they hold him. They didn't send him away to concentration camp. But he was very important. The build, he made the bricks for the houses, and he was the engineer there. Very important, he was always there. So they kept him with his family, and he had the right to keep his family. His father worked also in the factory, so he was also there. So he took out my parents. That's what they wasn't in concentration. Mm-hmm. And lucky for me, that's when I would have them, I wouldn't be dead. Then you have 2 people when he takes away the officer is not 4 people.
Right.
Or children with children.
Yeah. So you hid in the house. The Germans left.
The German left, took away whatever, not half, third of these we left just maybe a couple of hundreds. And then we were staying there also, I don't know, month, 2, 3, I have no idea. And we changed always. In the meantime, we bought 2 pails, like the water pails, the big pails. And we went to the river, and and whatever we had there, we changed it for partially carrots, something, a couple of potatoes for shirt, for shoe, whatever, I can't remember. It was always smaller and smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And we cooked in these 2 piles. We made soups. But it was good. We had something.
Yeah.
And the people came, give us something, money for a cup of soup, everybody. Some of them, I had my own doctor, but he was very close. And another doctor, but he delivered well. He was a gynecologist, and we came home together. So, I knew his wife. Anyway, in this way, we kept going. We had soup, and it was something nourishing.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever I could put in the soup, I put in the soup. We all ate it. And all day, they came and picked out again a lot of people and sent us to different camps. We were sent to Tuchin. It's in the Ukraine, in Tuchin, but there was already little houses, no windows, but little houses. Why? It was empty. Then they took away all the Jewish people, and killed them in the Ukraine. So the houses was empty. So they gave us, I was with 3 families, but we accumulate, with everybody's friends and nobody fights. I mean, you know me, I never fight, but we never fight. We was good friends, we shared, whatever. And they had like was hotel before or whatever, with rooms, but this was a dresser, and this was a tailor, and this was a shoemaker, and this was a dentist, and they make for all these people, put it in the places where they can help, especially my sister and Adolf, my parents. She should rest in peace, helped a lot. They send me money. I don't know how they did it. One time with a priest, one time with a general, one time with a simple soldier. I don't know where to find these people, and they came in, they find me. Telling you. So they took me to another place with the shoemaker, and me they put in a dress. It was already a Ukrainian woman, but the Romanian people liked me while I was speaking Romanish, and they can take a conversation with me. And I started working there. Like we repairs from officers, they bought it, shirts. It's not today, the shirt is ripped, I take the colors, but it's ripped inside from wearing it, and turn it around. This side on the right side, and this side on the left side. So you have a new color. So that's about dozen. And I was sitting there, and they gave me a machine, and some girls helped me, and we made this. And a lot of officers came to give me money. And I sold it in everything in the night, in my clothes. there we was there, and they find out as I can sew. The officers women come to me, new dresses, new things, and they knew that they need in Tiraspol, they need a dressmaker. And the Tiraspol was already good, best placed. The first time I took a shower after 2 years maybe. So, but how did they send us? I thought, I can't tell you how long, but on the way we had the wagons what they ran in the trains was with the coals on top. So we climbed up, how many we was that one. They sent a lot. And we climbed up on this. So long we could, somebody help us to not to walk so long, the blisters. So we came to Tiraspol. Short story. We came to Tiraspol, and I have there already one friend of mine, but we was there in the same room. It was a pharmacist, and he was Dr. Fröhlich. I remember every name, and he knew, he heard already who's coming. So he tried to be in the front when we come in, and he had already a bed for us, and with other people, a bed, a straw on top. And we slept on the floor all the time to that. And the first thing he took us, a bed. It was a general place. He says, I know 2 years you didn't take a shower, a bed. Let's go in. And he, God bless him, I tell you, when he's still alive. He did so much for us. He did, one people, one person can make so much with something good to do. You don't have to give him money. You just have to be nice and helping. Give him a helping hand. We went to a shower, a bed, with so much lice. My head was lice. Every clothes was lice. How much you washed, you couldn't take it off. I can't remember. So anyway, we had a bed clothes. And then he was waiting for us, took us back. Had something, little bit, something food, what he could afford, and had a place for us. The rest of the people was very jealous. Then they had to sleep outside. Ella's father-in-law with the mother-in-law was there. He was terribly jealous. And he was a ladies' dressmaker, a top one. And I was a young girl. I was 25, 26 years old. I didn't have experience so much. What did I have experience? I started learning with 20 years dress. I learned to cut, pattern to make from a German lady teachers. But I had no experience so much. I made it in the Romanian channel. But when God is with you, I say that God is with you. And they brought me materials, such a beautiful materials. I didn't sleep the whole night, and there was woman, so tall and so heavy. I was so scared. When I put in a cut in my material, I was scared to death. I was scared to death. I cut away the material. They sent me to a prison, someplace under to kill me. But I got it, and it was wonderful. I came, and they sent a car for me, and they sent me back with a car, with food, with cornmeal, with a chicken, with whatever, cheeses, whatever you want. The car was there. I came home. We all ate, all in the room. We was eight and a boy. 8 people we was in the boat. We all ate, and Ella was also there. But Ella lived in another barrack. This was something. So in this I was in Tiraspol also 5, 6 or a year, I don't know. In 44, we heard this, the wars and finished it. It's close to finished it. German ran away, what can you hear? There was no radio, nothing. So we had, so I was always fat. I was not fat, I mean feet, you know, they always gave me, always picked me up with the car, always sent me home with the car. And I was one time very sick with a high fever. And the car came and I told him this, I have a high fever and I can't go out of the bed. So he went and told him. So this was all the women work in a hospital. So they sent me medication, with injection, with cotton when I have the menstruation. They sent me everything, with the doctor. Everybody was just, who is she? Nothing. And they healed me, and I made everything. I saw everything came out gorgeous, everything came fine. And so more they happier, more I got, you know. Money had, but I didn't need it, also. But the rest didn't have money. Dr. Zipperstein didn't have money. This didn't have money. Dr. Ehrlich didn't have money. But he knew this I have. Honey, you need your money. Don't worry, we got it all. Just one thing, Billy Cook, I just come here, just come in time. One thing I can't figure it out till today. How did we come home without a map, without nothing, from Tiraspol to Czernowitz?
Maybe ask directions.
Well, who you ask direction? Whoever flew, we were staying in the trenches till we came to go over the strait. The trenches in the German with the big these horses, you know, Pinzgauer heißt es, but the trucks, the wood, you know, the trucks,
Budweiser, Clydesdales.
Yeah, the big dog, the horses, and we were slain in the trenches, and they was passing by all the Germans. I mean, they saw us, they killed us in the second, but we was quiet, and they passed by, and so we went from trenches to trenches. We didn't hear the horses. We walked. Then, and how we came to Czernowitz back, I don't know.
When did you decide to come back? When you heard that the war was over?
The war was over and everybody, the officers left. Mm-hmm. In Medelsheim, a colonel officer with his wife offered me to take me with Abba in the train and hide me. But I want to see my mother. I want to go home. I want to go to Bucharest. They went to Bucharest. I didn't know about in Bucharest. All the Jews was taken away. I didn't know Bucharest. What should I do in Bucharest? Again, be hungry. So I want to go home. And then it was also when somebody find us in the train, they send us, or the shooters or the throw us out anyway. He couldn't hide us for long. So, but how I came home, I have no idea. I have no idea. But we went home with Dr. Zipperstein, with two other friends, and with Dr. Frelich, the pharmacist. And with my mom, whatever I had. We never think about it to ask you, give it back or so. We whatever we needed to somebody to pay to go with the train for a couple of stations. We share it. That was not natural. It didn't even cross your mind not to do it.
I think you told me a story one time about Abba was outside of the camp one night, and it was after he was supposed to go back in, and he had to hide in a tree. Do you remember that story?
My father?
No, about Julius had to hide in a tree one time.
No, he couldn't. He wasn't. I saw him this one time before one time we went from one camp to the other in the night for maybe an hour or two, and then I saw him when he came back to our camp, and I didn't saw him really. We saw him just as when he went up with.
That's what he's asking. That's not what he's asking. This is what he's asking.
I'm asking you about your husband.
It took my father-in-law.
No, your husband.
My
Julia.
my father, my
No,
Abba.
Abba.
This we was.
One
I
night
think
he
it
had
was.
to
I
hide.
think it was in Tulchin. Yeah, he looked for wood. We had us. They had in this room where we went from Carrière de Piazza to Tulchin. We went. We had there a room with a stove, and also a couple of families, and they didn't have wood, so they went outside. But it was the militia there, the Ukrainer, and there was worse like the SS, worse. And he met a friend of also from the room, climbed up the tree to branches, to look for branches. And when they're up there, the militia came by and looked. And they would find him up, so they shoot him just like you shoot at an apple to fall down. And they was there, I don't know, for an hour or two. They were sitting quietly, and they walked around and on and they talking, Ukrainish, you know. And they left. When they left, they couldn't come back. Otava was so scared. He came down so scared with the other friend, unbelievable. And we were standing there by the window, Ella and I, and we look out, and the rest of us, but we didn't go close to the window. They shouldn't see us as we look up. That was his terrible thing. And with the whip, what he was like. This was unbelievable.
So then, after you left the camp, you came back to Chernovitz.
Yeah.
What was Chernovitz like? Were the people the same, or was it a different town?
It was ruined, you know, it was not the same. And I didn't know much. I tell you, we came home, the first thing I wanted to lay down. Then we worked so much with nothing. One wanted to give us food. They were so shocked that all of a sudden they hear that we are on the way back. We are on the station someplace, and I don't remember. And my father ran to pick us up, and Miriam and Adolf, and Mama had already made food. I said, we won't eat, I just want to lay down. And we lay down with the lice, with mom's bed, with father's bed. We lay down, I don't know how long we slept. We slept, then we went, and we had a shower, a bed. But it was, everything was unbelievable. I didn't tell you all the stories, what we went through. I had typhus.
I can pause it.
Who was it?
You had typhus?
I had typhus. And
Was that when you were...
everybody died there. Hundreds and hundreds of people also on typhus, and I got it. It's also from the lice, transmitted from one person to the other. Then he worked with the German to carry the bodies and so. And I had, who was it? And I had typhus. It was very, very bad. Nothing to eat. Ella came and found a piece of bread with pork schmaltz, you know, fat. She says, only here I have. So what is that? When the doctor told me, you have to eat. Well, I tell you, we live just with doctors. So we have to eat something. So you have to eat something. I say, Ella, it's pork. I don't eat pork. You will die. I say, I will die, but I don't eat pork. Don't eat it. But the doctor, they had a little thing of medication, but they didn't give it away. Then they had the wife and they wouldn't give. But Dr. Pasternak gave me, I don't know, it calls quinine. It was quinine. And it's a powder, not this. And he gave me this, and this little powder I make 2 please times. You say, share it, make it one, not one time, make it 2. And somehow, like I say, I survived it. And like Ella's husband, the second husband, died, the wife died of typhus, and my friend died of it. My uncle died of typhus. It was unbelievable. People right and left died of typhus. Everybody. It was the sickness. Yeah.
So after you got back to Chernovitz, how long was it until Abba was put in the Russian army?
I was first.
You were first?
Yeah. First, I was working in a jail, also for the woman to teach him sewing. I don't know how I came to jail. Don't ask me, I can't remember. I know they called me in. I had to go to jail, to go there to teach. I had a special card. They take when I go in and when I go out, when the people, what they accused, the criminals, walked. So I walked from the corridor, and I came in. I had to turn around to the wall until they passing me. But also I could buy whatever I want there, but you couldn't buy in these stores. I could buy butter, I could buy flour, I could buy bread, I could buy everything what I want to in the jail. I didn't get the money they gave me in these quantities. But I came home to my parents and I had food, and we was home. Then they called me up to the army. So I went into the army. In Chernovitz, it was, I don't know, where the soldiers stay, a kaserne.
Barracks?
A kaserne. Just
Barracks.
barracks, but the soldiers was there. I went there, and they gave us uniforms. And in Russian, they march you, and you have to sing special songs. So we marched every day in the morning, early in the morning, in singing. Then we came home, back, and we had to go to the botanic garden and carry this heavy, to water the plants, and carry this to water everything. Or go in the kitchen to help out cutting and this. And this make me so nauseous. Then this meat and this everything looks terrible. Then I didn't know that I'm pregnant. But let me first. So when I was in the army, Abba was called off too. And he went also and we met. And we were talking there outside, they sent away. Some of them left in Chernovitz, some of it, but lucky my husband was taken away. And we didn't know where. Even when he arrived, nobody was taken the maid. So I didn't know for him. And I didn't know, as in the meantime, that I'm pregnant. Then we didn't sleep together in concentration camp. And I didn't have my period anyway, and a lot of women didn't have it there. For nutritionists, we didn't have nothing. So I didn't know. I didn't have experience from before. But one day when I carried all these waters and all this heavy work and all this marching every day, in the morning and the evening, I got terrible back pain. I couldn't go down from the bed. And there wasn't nurses, it was just soldiers, men, Russian men. And I spoke a little bit already, you learn when you want to. And I said, that's Russian. I told him I can't go, I have my feet hurt, and I can't go down from the bed, I can't go. So they sent me to a doctor. But the doctor was Chernovitz. He was a cardiologist. So, and they sent me to him, and he says that I'm 3.5 months pregnant. I said, what do you mean? I'm not, nothing, the shows, nothing, I didn't feel. Yeah, you're pregnant. So I came home with a note. So they don't touch you when you have to have a baby. They goes with you with gloves. And my father, he should rest in peace, or Miriam, bought me every single day supper. I couldn't eat the food there, and they know that. But every day they came there And this wasn't a car taking. They had to walk out, an hour at least, to the place where I am in the barracks. But every day, or Miriam or my father, but every day would bring me stuff. And I didn't say to my sister that I'm pregnant. I didn't say. I was so ashamed. What do you mean I get pregnant? I was not here and a woman pregnant. So, but one day I had to tell my sister. My father had very good connection with all the doctors, and he worked for the doctors. And he found the one doctor and asked him when. I knew this is Grossman, the doctors coming to examine all the women in there. So I find out when, and my father knew when, and he asked who's coming to examine, and you find doctors, what they say is I'm in the 5th month pregnant. 5th month they have to give you out to let you go. They can keep you. So the doctor came and they make a note that I'm close to 5 months pregnant, and they let me go home. But I had to have a job. Then the Russian, and with the horses, the Kazakhs, really Kazakhs, went around in all the town, and all channels all around, and took women. By the street or from the houses, where it was 2 women, they took one away. So I couldn't be with my sister in my parents' home, and my sister was there. I couldn't go to my mother-in-law, while Ella was there. So I didn't have where to stay. And they will take me, and I did. David, Adolf, find a job for me. I learned in the meantime every day, Rosh, to write.
Who was Adolf? That's
Miriam's husband.
Oh, Miriam's husband.
You didn't remember?
No, I remember. I just don't know how he's related.
Yeah.
And Miriam is
My sister.
Your sister. Your older sister?
Yeah, my only sister.
Your only sister.
So, what did this?
What's that?
What did they finish?
You were talking about you looking for a place to stay.
I didn't have a state to stay. So Adolf find me a job. I learned in the meantime every day I was studying it. You see, Russian is very hard language. But when you know the ABC is completely different.
Yeah.
Like, it's a couple of things are different.
The letters are different. Yes.
Yeah,
Different
a couple
alphabet.
of letters. But the ABC, like in usual, like what I learned, is the same. So I just have to learn, like an N is this way written, a B is this way written. And stupid I wasn't. And I learned it. And they gave me a job for helping out the bookkeeping.
Mm-hmm.
There's the people was coming in the morning. I was a very big book. I had to write in the name, in what time they came in what time they're going out, and how much salary he gets. You know, all this. And I was very good in it, but I didn't have where to go sleep. So Adolf had another lady there in the office, and the Polish guy also in the office, but he was, everybody knows he's my boyfriend. And on the roof, where they drying the bricks, all on the roof where they drying the bricks, the tables, there I went up. In the Werther anti-Semit, but he took guard, very anti-Semitisch, and he's supposed to go. So in the evening we went home, probably, but Adolf knew some place to go in from the back. When he was outside with the people, his guard, we went in, the couple of people, we went on the roof, with no pillow, no this, impregnated. And I slept on the table. I slept on the table maybe 3 to 4 months. Listen. Yeah, I slept.
We gotta go. Okay.
Yeah. And I slept there on the table.
Okay, so in conclusion,
Yes.
how was it?
But
Life?
it
In
was
Chernovitz.
very hard for me.
In Chernovitz?
Very hard for me.
What was your favorite place to be? Was it Chernovitz or Israel or
Well,
Brooklyn?
Chernovitz was not Chernovitz. Forget it. It was not Chernovitz anymore. It was the Rosh.
Hmm.
And Israel.
You loved Israel?
Oh, I love it till the day I die. I love Israel. We've had a hard life, especially when you come with two small children. David was 1 year old, exactly 1 year. Will was 5, and with two old people. And my father was a very scared man. He was scared for everything. Very, very unbeholden, so sagt man, unbeholden. He couldn't help himself, nothing. You know, everything I had to do for him. He didn't want to go Social Security help. You know, it's a shame, Who goes to do this? It's not a shame. We're here, this is a different. It didn't help. Came to Israel, was very hard. Then we slept outside in the sand. You know, it's not easy with a kid from 1 year and really in the first. I always give my life for them, and with my two old people, my mother was sick first. Was very hard till we got a little barracks, but we slept inside already. They give us all beds, but we open it, you know, like this.
Cots, yeah.
Cots. So we slept on the beds. And then I went outside one day and bought some piece of melon. And the guy there, he was a couple of women, he says, there is a man, but it needs a woman to help him to clean up the house and washing the dishes and the linen. And I say, where is it? He says, not far. And he went with me, and I was the housekeeper there. I went for 2, 3 hours, but I had to leave the kids with my mother, but it wasn't easy, but she wasn't feeling good. But it comes Friday, Thursday, I had a couple of, what money was with then. I went out, I bought fish, and Mama chopped it up, and we had Shabbos, challah with fish, something what I didn't have to take from the kitchen, but we had every food we had from the kitchen. And David got very, very sick. He was a baby, he was 1 year old. He couldn't have this food, and I didn't have something else. And he was very sick. And that's what I worked for a couple of months, till we got a
Sorry, am I interrupting?
No, we gotta wrap it up.
yeah, that's what we got. Then till we got changed from, where was it? Where did we pass from the first time in Israel? Hadera Brandes. We was sent to Machane Israel. There was the bars also from this English soldiers, from the English people, but with bricks, not with wood.
Classifieds.
Yeah, so we was 4 people, we got unbearable. And my mother had to live with the mother, with the son, and it's near me.
Okay. We gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, got it.